Shields up, Iron Breakers. How's everybody doing? Today, we're going to be doing a live Khan Kast. It's the first time that I'm doing a live Khan Kast, so bear with me. There's probably going to be a lot of really weird stuff happening. And today, specifically, we're going to be talking about the top 15 games of 2016, in my personal opinion. And just remember, guys, this is my personal opinion. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm like ranking games over this game is clearly better than this one. It's like, I like this game more than this other one, and here's why. Well, maybe more than this other one is not really the proper way to say it, because I'm not a huge fan of ranking games, so to speak, but I do kind of feel like I've played some games more than others, and that usually means that those games clearly captivated me more than the other ones that I've played slightly less. So I'm going to be talking about games in 2016. Now, before we get started, I would just like to mention that there are a lot of games that I never got to play, including two pretty major releases that I haven't gotten to play yet that came out this year, like, for instance, Watch Dogs 2 and Dishonored 2. Never got around to playing those because I've just been too busy playing all the other amazing games that came out in 2016. As a matter of fact, a lot of people nowadays, they like to be extremely negative about the gaming industry, and I'm just always taken aback as to how much people like to complain about video games and how much, back in my day, things were so much better, and I'm just like, dude, there are literally so many good games in 2016 that I didn't even get to play them all. And even the ones that I've played, I didn't even get to play them as much as I would like. So I think we should all just celebrate gaming. You know what I'm saying? Just friggin' celebrate it. Just enjoy it. Enjoy yourself. Are you having fun with video games? That's the thing that matters. I mean, obviously you should have fun with other things besides video games, but in terms of the industry that we're in, and in terms of the major topics of discussion that we engage in, let's face it, we all really appreciate gaming. Otherwise, why would you be here watching a gaming show? I see Harlequin in the house, Gru the Wanderer, Snake Java, Shawarma Papa, Daniel Alejandro Moravacqua, Felipe7704. Hopefully you guys are all having a good time here. This is the first time that we're doing a Khan Kast live, so once again, just bear with me. Now then, getting things started, I have three mentions that don't necessarily make it to the list for various reasons. Like I said, it's been an extremely good year for video games. So there are just too many games. There's too many games. I wish I could put all of them in a list. I mean, when I started working on this video, I was like, okay, let's do a top 10 list. And then it became a top 15 list. And in the end, it's a top 15 list with 3 mentions. So it's technically speaking 18 games. And I have more on the list that I wanted to put on there, but I just can't at this point. It's like, I remember that when I started building the list, I had over like 30 games on there, and I was just like, God damn, all of these games are so good. Anyway, as we get started here, I would also like to wish each and every one of you guys, because, you know, this is the best way for me to contact all of you out there, my audience. I would like to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, Merry whatever the hell you happen to celebrate, dude, because just be happy. This is a time to be with your family. Like, forget all that nonsense about, oh, let's buy expensive gifts and do all these other things that people do on Christmas. Just be with your family. Just hang out, have fun, eat a lot of food, because that's usually what Christmas is also about. But remember, just hang out with your family, have some fun, and let's get started. Oh yeah, obviously I kind of have to wish you guys a Happy New Year too while I'm taking this opportunity to wish Merry Christmas. You know, just get all that stuff out of the way. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that stuff. And now let's get right down to business. Obviously, you guys can see that the gameplay that is going on right now in this really bad border that I got that is all like Christmas themed so that it looks like it's a Christmas show. I just literally just looked up transparent Christmas border PNG and give me something that kind of works. The game that's on there right now is obviously Paragon. We're going to be looking at my YouTube channel in that window most of the time because I'm going to be grabbing the games from my YouTube channel because I think pretty much all the games that are on this list Actually, all the games that are on this list, I have played them. Oh, what the hell? There's something wrong here. There's something wrong here. Yes, there is. Oh, no. Mistakes were made. I'm just going to fix this live because I don't really care. I just looked at my list and I realized there's a game missing in here. There's a real important game missing in here. But it's okay because we're going to fix it. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry. It's going to be... There, it's fixed. Alrighty. Now then, let's get this party started, shall we? First thing. First of the mentions is obviously Paragon. We got Paragon going on in the background. The reason why Paragon is in the mentions and not necessarily in the list, because, I mean, for starters, if Paragon was on the list, it'd be pretty high up there. Like, I'm talking at the very least top 3. But Paragon is not really out yet. It's still in beta, which is why I'm only making a mention of it. Even though it's in beta, amazing game. I highly recommend. I mean, if you guys have been on my channel, you've seen me play Paragon. You know what Paragon's all about. If you haven't played it yet, played it, be it on PS4, be it on PC, whatever, play Paragon. Check it out. It's really worth it. And it is, in my opinion, the best MOBA in the market right now. Like, you know how there's like 30 friggin' million people playing League of Legends or whatever, however many people there are, however many millions playing Dota 2, however many thousands playing Heroes of the Storm. In my opinion, Paragon, top notch, breaks every other one of those straight up. And again, just remember, this list is very much my opinion. So if you have a differing opinion, doesn't mean that you're wrong, doesn't mean that I'm wrong, just means that we don't necessarily agree. But yeah, the first game that I wanted to bring up is obviously Paragon. Super solid MOBA. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I don't think I have to say a whole lot about the game, really. You guys have seen me play it. You guys have seen me enjoy the crap out of it. And now that Monolith is out, the game is so much better. Even though there's a lot of naysayers out there saying, no, Legacy was the best. It's like, I'm sorry, you guys, but Monolith is just way better. Just so much better. So yeah. First game, Paragon. Now let's take a look. Not first game, first mention, Paragon. Now let's take a look at the next mention, if I can even find it. If I can find my cursor, that is. Oh, there it is. Hello, cursor. How you doing? Okay, so wonder if you guys can see if I... Oh, yeah, once I type in here, you're going to be able to see what the mention was. Oh, but I can kind of hide it in the border. Yeah, that way you guys can't see it. Okay, so I just got to be careful to hide this thing, so that you guys can't see the mention before it gets mentioned. Okay, so the next mention is this. No, it's this one. This one right here. Next mention is Bravely Second. Now, this game is hands down one of the best games that you can have on your 3DS that came out this year, in my opinion. It is a really solid game. It has a beautiful art style, awesome gameplay, just straight up fun all around. I enjoyed it immensely. I haven't played a whole lot of it, unfortunately, which is why it's probably why it's in the mentions list and not necessarily in the actual list itself, because I didn't give it enough time. Because again, there's just so much stuff that came out in 2016, and I am only one man. But I did not want it to have a list and not include Bravely Second. So hopefully you guys saw that video. That video is obviously available on the channel. All the games that we're going to be talking about today, there are videos on the channel of them that you guys can check out. This is a JRPG, if you guys have no idea what Bravely Second is about. It has a beautiful art style. It is the continuation to Bravely Default. So if you guys have played Bravely Default, you have a general idea what Bravely Second is about. And I just really enjoy it. I just have a lot of fun with this title, and hopefully you guys will check it out for yourselves eventually. Trust me, it is most definitely worth it. Hulker of the Abyss, is it on PC? No, it is on Nintendo 3DS. This is only on Nintendo 3DS. Sorry, man. Some of the good stuff that came out this year is only on certain consoles. And yeah, not everyone's going to be able to enjoy all these titles that we're going to be talking about today. Another mention. Let me grab another mention out here. Let me just see. I go back here. Is this? You guys can see it. Oh man, you guys are gonna be able to see it. It's not fair. I don't want to have to like disable it. Then again, it's so tiny. Maybe you won't be able to see it before I actually mention it. Another mention of a game that this one came very late in the year. And again, it is a mention because I didn't get to play enough of it. So I didn't get to really, I didn't get to the part where the free-to-play stuff would come into play. So I can't really form an informed opinion on this one. It's just I enjoyed the combat. I enjoyed the action. The game is obviously, if you guys have seen it, the game is Let It Die. But I still enjoyed what I've played of it quite a bit, and I've had several requests from people asking me to play it again on the channel. The reason I haven't done it is because I kind of feel that this is one of those titles that there's currently a lot of people playing at a much higher level, and if I do stream it on the channel again, they're going to be like, look at this fucking scrub just like playing on this level 1 tower right now. What the hell? What is going on? But game is a lot of fun, and it is free to play. So if you have a PS4, you owe it to yourself to just check it out. It is most definitely worth checking out at the very least. I've enjoyed what I've played of it, and the combat is pretty damn solid. Spoilers, we can see it. But yeah, this Let It Die over here is another one of my mentions. And then we have one more mention, and then we're going to get into the actual list. I know I said it was 3 mentions, but you guys remember that part where I messed up and one of the titles, one of the games was not on the list, and I had to add it. I had to manually add it at the start of this video. So yeah, this is a professionally produced show. I'm a professional, and I carefully prepared every single bit of content that we have in the show here today. Straight up. Okay, so you guys have seen the other mention was Let It Die. Now, another mention. I know that this one's going to be a little bit controversial for some people, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it anyway, guys. The next mention is The Division. So, this right here is a title that I greatly enjoyed. I actually played it all the way with my Squadron buddies. We played this extensively over at TGN Squadron. And we had a blast playing it. I know that there was a lot of controversy because a lot of people didn't seem to think that the game had enough content, which I thought was like, what are you talking about? I mean, what goes for content these days? You know, does every game need to have like, I don't know, friggin' 200 hours of content, which The Division technically has, depending on how much you do multiplayer and stuff. I believe that the footage that you're watching, is this PvP? No, I don't think this is PvP. This is PvE most likely. But yeah, it's like I thought the game was a lot of fun, and the friends that I was playing it with also had a lot of fun. This is particularly a good game if you have friends to play with you, because if you're playing by yourself, it's clearly not as much fun. But I would still highly advise you guys to check it out if you're even the least bit interested. I believe that there's been a lot of content patches since I've stopped playing, which is, again, one of the reasons why this is in mentions and not a part of the list, is because it's one of those games that I've played, had a blast with it, and after a while I just kind of got tired of it. I actually finished this one, though, which is interesting. But I didn't really... It's a really competitive year, so making it onto the list is not an easy thing, even a top 15 list. But, yeah. The Division, super solid in my opinion. I played the PC version, but I believe that the PS4 version is also good. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about buying it on PS4 because I've been playing most of my stuff on PS4 these days. It's just, I don't know, I've just been having more fun with the PS4 than with my PC because I tend to get into a lot of games already that are like, oh man, your 970 is just not enough, you know, bro. You just gotta get that 1080, and I'm like, dude, I ain't spending no fucking however many euros it is for a 1080 in Portugal, which is an obscene amount of money. I think last time I checked was like 700 euros or something, which adds up to about $800. Or what was that for the 1070? I don't know. Basically, what I'm saying is like PC parts are fucking expensive, man, and I would rather play on the console nowadays. But yeah, The Division, another solid mention right there, and that is going to be the end of the mentions now. Now we get into the real deal. Coming in at number 15. Coming in at number 15. Let me see if I can type it fast enough that you guys can't see it. No, it's too late. It's been done. It's been done. And in this title, I'm actually going to be talking about both games. Let's scroll a little bit forward so that we can see some, hopefully, monster killing action. Okay, here we go. Coming in at number 15, we have God Eater. Now, God Eater doesn't make it higher in the list, specifically because this is a remake. So technically speaking, some people are even going to say, this game didn't even come out this year. This game came out God knows how many years ago on the PSP. But it's like there has never really been a version of this game that I could play. I believe that I could have played like the PSP version of Burst on my Vita. But I was like, man, I don't want to play an old-ass PSP game. I want them to remake the game for the Vita, which they released it in Japan a couple of years ago. And finally, they brought it to the West. Now, this all depends on whether or not you guys enjoy monster hunting games, which you guys know that I personally enjoy them quite a bit. And this right here is essentially a monster hunting game, but it actually has a lot of stuff that I feel it does better than Monster Hunter. One of those things is, for instance, the way that missions work. Because like in Monster Hunter, you have your single player campaign, and then you have your multiplayer campaign, and never the two shall meet. So some of the quests are kind of similar. Some of the quests are even the exact same, except they're done in a multiplayer environment in Monster Hunter. Well, God Eater is just like, no, dude, you experience the whole story, cinematics and all, with your friends. And in my opinion, that is so much better. It's just like, it's just one game. It's this one game, and the missions are both for single player and for multiplayer, and it just works so much better. Again, personal opinion right there. But I've played this with two other friends, and we've enjoyed it thoroughly. This right here was my gameplay first impressions when I first started playing it. I was still learning, which is why you're seeing me like mess around with the combos, trying to learn how each of the combos work. The weapons look ridiculously big, but it's still just one of those things. This game, in my opinion, super solid, lots of fun, enjoyed it immensely, and I still want to go back and play more of this for sure. Not sure if I'm going to do it on the channel or not, because I don't know if you guys are interested, but I am definitely going to keep up with God Eater and God Eater 2. And that's the other thing. Like when this came out, it's two games. It's God Eater 1 and God Eater 2. Technically speaking, you're buying God Eater 2 and it includes God Eater 1, but whatever. Like those games are solid and I enjoyed them immensely. So that's number 15 on the list. God Eater and God Eater 2, Rage Burst, all that stuff, whatever you want to call it. Super solid title. Enjoyed it immensely. And hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. Okay, next up on the list is a title that I played for the very first time this year. This is a title that's been, how should I put it? It's like a staple title for the 3DS. I love how the thing is notifying. Oh crap! No, this is not the. Did I not have actual gameplay? Oh, that was Awakening. Never mind. Okay, this is this. I've forgotten that I had played Awakening. So I guess I played Awakening before I played this one. But this one feels so much better. But anyway, number 14, Fire Emblem Fates. If YouTube will load this video, YouTube, you feel like working today? There we go. Fire Emblem Fates. Let's actually get some. Can we get some friggin' fights over here? Come on, let's go. The wife just came in here and she's like, just like looking around with music playing on her phone. I'm like, you want me to get a friggin' content ID strike, woman? God damn it. Okay. So, Fire Emblem Fates coming in at number 14 on this list. Super solid strategy game. If you guys haven't checked it out, You guys should definitely check out the video for this. Again, it's a 3DS exclusive, so if you don't own a 3DS, sorry, feels bad, man. One of the things that I really like about this game is that there's a lot of strategy games out there, and this turn-based kind of strategy stuff where they don't really it's like it's turn-based strategy at the same time. It's also got RPG elements in it. Fire Emblem is really in its own league, so to speak. But there's several games out there, be it dungeon crawling JRPGs or whatever, where they just don't do the fighting animations. And that is a really big deal for me. Like when I'm playing a game, I like the combat and I like actually seeing my characters engage in combat and do the animation. So if this was just a bunch of calculations, they would just told me, oh, your character did this amount of damage, this other character died, I would clearly not enjoy it as much. But the fact that the animations are there and it's so well done with the panning of the camera and all that stuff, I really enjoyed it. The game is very well polished. It's got tons of content, tons of extra missions. I was looking at it the other day and I downloaded like God knows how much extra stuff for this game for free. Like it's not even part of season passes or anything. It's just like, hey, have all these other maps and stuff. So, yeah. Janky007 saying, if I get myself a 3DS for my birthday, I'm going to blame Rui. Hey, dude, you're entitled to it. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah. Number 14, Fire Emblem Fates. Super solid title. Really enjoyed it. Really good stuff. Now then, another title. Number 13. And I feel bad about this title. I gotta be honest. I feel really bad about this title because I was super excited. And then something really bad happened. Let's talk about Salt and Sanctuary, shall we? Salt and Sanctuary comes in at number 13 on my list. And let me explain why. Let me tell you guys why that is the case. So, Salt and Sanctuary had a beta a while back, which they gave me access to. I played the beta, played a little bit of it. I'm trying to scroll to a part where we're actually doing combat. Yeah. So I played a little bit of that beta, and I enjoyed it, and I was really excited about the game. And it was one of those things. I wanted to make time for this game, so I was organizing all of my projects, all of that stuff. And then suddenly what happens is the game just releases out of nowhere. Now, I'm not sure if this date had been announced or what the thing was, but like all of a sudden I just received an email from Scott Studios, and they're just like, hey, dude, here's your key for the game. And I was like, what? This is like... What do you mean, the key for the game? There's a release date, the game is out, and the game was coming out the following Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. I received the key on a Friday or something. And I was super excited about it. So I boot up a live stream. I start streaming the game, just having lots of fun with it. And I kid you not, where the exact day after I did my first stream on this game, I received my early access key for Dark Souls 3. And I was just like, no! Why at the same time? Because I knew that I had to start playing Dark Souls 3 instantly because you guys wanted to see that, obviously. So that's what happened with Salt and Sanctuary for me. I never got to play it as much as I wanted to because I kind of got involved instantly as it came out in Dark Souls 3. And shortly after, other projects followed, and eventually this just got slowly sent into the back burner, and I never got back to it. And it was just so frustrating for me, and that's why it only gets 13, because I never got to play it as much as I wanted to. And, I mean, I have the game. I should be playing it, but it's just like there's so many things calling my attention now that I don't know when I'm going to get around to playing Salt and Sanctuary again, particularly because I know that you guys want to... see me play the game, so I probably whenever I do play it, I'm going to be live streaming it. So it's just going to be a matter of when am I going to find the time to fit this to live stream into my schedule, because we are going to get back to Salt and Sanctuary. It's just, again, it's a matter of time. But yeah, that's my number 13, Salt and Sanctuary. Super solid title. Good stuff. Okay, now we're going to number 12. I'm also looking at my list here because I don't know these by head. We're going to number 12, and I really enjoy this title. This is another one of those titles that is like, if you're a Persona fan, you're going to enjoy the crap out of this title. Like, a lot of people are going to be like, oh man, what's with the J-pop and all this other stuff? It's like, dude, focus on the gameplay. Even though I love the soundtrack, I think it's a lot of fun. The animations, the theme, I think this game is just like super solid. And every bit that I've enjoyed of it, every bit that I've played of it, I've greatly enjoyed. So this is, again, JRPG. You guys are going to notice that in my list, there's going to be a tremendous bias towards Japanese games, which is something that I've been realizing over the years, that I tend to really just enjoy Japanese games over most other things. But Tokyo Mirage Sessions is a Wii U exclusive. Wii U exclusive. So I don't think it really got the attention it deserved, because obviously the Wii U did not have as much success as we would all like. Personally, I think that there's a ton of really good titles for the console, and Tokyo Mirage Sessions was just one of those. It's an amazing title, and it just plays great. JRPG, if you enjoy that kind of stuff. If you enjoy Persona at all, you're going to enjoy this. So Tokyo Mirage Sessions, hashtag FE, which I believe is it's a call to Fire Emblem, because there's like Fire Emblem elements in here as well as Persona elements. Just, again, it's something that will keep you going until that Persona 5 hits. Persona 5 is going to be hitting real soon. But yeah, really enjoyed what I've played of this title, and I would highly recommend it. Comes highly recommended by the Rurikhan. Number 12, Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Okay, now then, let's talk about number 11. Oh, this one's hard. This one's hard to talk about. There's a lot to talk about here. So this is obviously Pokemon, and I'm not just going to go with Pokemon Sun and Moon. I'm going to have to bring up two games here. Even though we're only going to be showing footage of Sun and Moon, I have to talk about just Pokemon in general, because 2016 was the year where I first played Pokemon. Because I kind of stayed away from Pokemon. Seemed like it was something that I wouldn't really care for all that much. But as it turns out, I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. Oh my god. Give me a minute, you guys. This is what I get for doing a live show right before Christmas. Wife is just like running all over the house, doing all kinds of stuff, preparing the house for Christmas, and she's really, really, really distracting me, and it's very distracting. Anyway, as I was saying, 2016 was the year where I first started playing Pokemon games, and something very important for me has been Pokemon Go, because it's a real health benefit, I have to say. Even though the game itself, I have to say, not my favorite thing. As a matter of fact, I don't even engage in gyms, combat, or any of that stuff, because I think the combat in Pokemon Go is just a piece of trash. It's a piece of hot garbage, which is it's just very disappointing when you look at the amazing combat that you have in other games of the series. Like you look at Sun and Moon, for instance, combat super satisfying, because Pokemon is just made to be played in turn-based. It's just made to be played in turn-based, and that whole real-time tap, tap, tap shit that you get in Pokemon Go is a piece of trash. It's a piece of trash, sorry. And gym combat, not fun at all, in personal opinion, again. So what I do with Pokemon Go is I just go out on walks and I just catch pokes, I hatch pokes, and that's it. And the only thing is, it's something to keep me entertained while I'm walking. Because I enjoy walking. I've mentioned this previously. I enjoy walking a great deal, but I get bored I'm just like, I'm walking and I'm bored of walking. Whereas if you have something that's like, oh no, I'm going to walk this amount of kilometers, it's going to hatch a Pokemon egg, do all these things. Even though I don't care that much about Pokemon Go, it's still something to keep you going. But anyway, Pokemon Sun and Moon, having played a little bit of Pokemon Y and quite a bit of Omega Ruby, playing Sun and Moon, I have to say, this is the biggest evolution I've ever seen in Pokemon games. Because the other games, you can tell that it's like, they felt dated. Pokemon Y and Pokemon Omega Ruby felt incredibly dated. Like, they were solid, sure. Solid game, solid mechanics, all this stuff, but it felt dated. Whereas Sun and Moon is just like, it's got all those cool mechanics and more, and it feels like a current generation game, whereas the other ones didn't. So, that's why Pokemon in general gets gets number 11 on my list. Sorry, got distracted there. I enjoy Sun and Moon. As a matter of fact, I still have to play more Sun and Moon. I'm probably going to do it over the Christmas break because you guys know the thing that I've told you, which is like 3DS games and mobile games in general, I tend to only really play them when I'm traveling because when I'm home, I want to play on the big screen, which is one of the reasons why I really want that Switch to come along, and hopefully they will port a lot of the 3DS games over there so that I can play 3DS games on the big screen. But yeah. Pokemon Sun and Moon is a super solid Pokemon game, and if you're new to the Pokemon franchise, don't be like, how should I put this? Don't be thinking, oh, I should play all the other ones before I play this one, so I don't want to get involved in this one, because it's like, you should, this is a perfectly fine beginner's Pokemon. Like, if you want to start with Sun and Moon, you can start with Sun and Moon, it's fine. And Pokemon Go is one of those things where you might be thinking like, oh, I'm late to the party. And it's like, just don't think of it competitively. Don't think about the whole, thing with, oops, God damn it. Sorry about that. It's just, I kept hearing Skype and I was wondering what the fuck's going on. But don't be thinking about it from the competitive standpoint of taking on gyms and all that stuff. Just think about it as something to entertain you while you're going out on walks. It's good stuff. But yeah, my opinion, really good games, both Pokemon Go and Sun and Moon, which is why I kind of put Pokemon in general on number 11 in my list of best games of 2016. Okay, let's take a look at what's coming on number 10. Number 10 is going to be something that I think I'm going to catch a lot of flack because I know a lot of people don't like this game. I know a lot of people don't like this game, but that's too fucking bad, because I do. I enjoyed this game a lot. I'm still actively playing it. I even played it just last night. I enjoy this game a great deal. And this is Sword Art Online Hollow Realization. It is in number 10 because while I enjoy it quite a bit, I can see that, if you've played all the other Sword Art Online games, you will notice that this one isn't a huge evolution in the formula. As a matter of fact, I almost think that Lost Song innovated a bit more than this with the whole flying mechanics, whereas this Hollow Realization feels a lot more familiar if you've played Hollow Fragment, because it's got the more complex skill tree, and it's got a lot of stuff there. But the reason I enjoy Sword Art Online is because, in a way, it feels like you're playing an MMO, but it doesn't have any of those annoying things about MMOs. Like people. I'm just kidding. It's like, how when you're playing an MMO and you usually, even though there's a lot of MMOs nowadays that don't really have the fee, the monthly fee. But usually when I played MMOs, I always played the ones with the monthly fee, and I would always feel pressured to, I should be playing this right now because I'm paying to play this thing throughout this month, so I should be playing it. I remember always thinking about that when I was playing World of Warcraft, when I was playing Final Fantasy XIV, or any other MMO that required a subscription service. I would always be like, I should be playing this and not anything else. So there's always that pressure in the back of your head. Well, this game kind of allows you to play almost like if it was an MMO, even though it's a single-player game. And it allows you to also customize your party, which is good. And at the same time, it's themed around Sword Art Online, which is an anime that I really enjoy. So it just brings a lot of stuff to the table that I like. I know that a lot of you guys are going to bring up, oh, it's harem anime, all this other stuff. Yeah, you don't have to engage in everything the game has to offer. You can if you choose to, but I can tell you right now, I think I'm like 60 hours in, and I'm not even, I think I'm like halfway through the game. And I haven't even engaged that much with all the harem stuff and the romance stuff and all that. But it is there if people want to engage in it. The story is not particularly amazing, but it's decent. And it's kept me interested. But more than anything, what really keeps me interested in this game is the gameplay mechanics. It's the whole thing about, I want to unlock this thing so that I can unlock this hidden skill. And then I put this hidden skill and I use it in combination with this buff. And you know, it's just, in a way, it's almost like the theory crafting, that whole bit where you're planning out your builds and stuff. I've told you guys about how I used to play a crap ton of Diablo 2 because I enjoyed the diversity of the amount of builds that I could do in Diablo 2, and then that kind of shifted into Dark Souls, and I enjoy the amount of builds that I can do on Dark Souls. This game kind of scratches that same itch. It allows you to experiment with multiple different builds and multiple different things that you can do with your characters, and I like it. And that's one of the reasons why it makes the list. I also tested out recently the Vita version. I requested Bandai to get me a code for the Vita version so that I could check it out, because this is one of the few games that actually has its own Vita version and doesn't just assume like, oh, anyone who wants to play it on the Vita will just remote play. Because if there's something that's frustrated me throughout the years is the way that Sony has handled the Vita, or should I say not handled the Vita, because they just don't give a fuck. So it's important whenever a developer supports the Vita, despite having a game on the PlayStation. However, in this case, the implementation was not the best. The Vita game is rough around the edges. That frame rate, Jesus Christ. Let me tell you about those 10 frames a second you get while you're in combat. Holy crap. But still, it has its own Vita version. And I want to say that one of the main reasons probably why they didn't bother polishing it that much is because not even Sony seems to care that much about the Vita. So they're probably just like, dude, just reduce the graphics of the thing we did on the PS4, put it on the Vita, just slap it on there. And it's like, if you have a choice, I would tell you get the PS4 version. But if you don't have a choice, if all you have is a Vita, I would still say it is worth a purchase if you enjoy the gameplay that you've seen on the channel. If you enjoy what you've seen of the game, it is still that game. It's just the performance could really use a patch. Could really, really use a patch on that performance. But again, Sword Art Online coming in at number 10. I really enjoy Sword Art Online Hollow Realization. I'm going to keep playing it. As a matter of fact, I plan on finishing it over the holidays. We'll see if that becomes a thing or not. But it is definitely a lot of fun, in my opinion. Again, I play it mostly for the gameplay. There's a lot of like you could almost call it softcore porn in there. But yeah, it's just one of those things. The game has a lot of aspects that you can interact with. I mean, both the single player MMO looking thing mixed in with visual novel, mixed in with romance and romantic mini games and whatnot. And just this beastly skill system that I really enjoy for changing up the builds in my character and whatnot. To give you guys an idea, I started out this character as, I believe, a two-hander, because you guys remember we played the two-hander the first time we played. Then I switched to sword and shield so that I could unlock dual wielding. Eventually I unlocked dual wielding, so I played dual wielding. Then I switched back to... what was it? Oh yeah, I wanted to switch to axes, but then I ended up playing scimitars so that I could unlock a hidden hidden skill thing. And then I switched to axe. Now I'm playing with katana. There's just a lot of variety in there and a lot of stuff that you can do with your character that I enjoy. I've also completely respect the 3 characters that I play with, which are Sinon, Asuna, and Lisbeth. I've completely respect them. So Lisbeth's like a healer. Sinon and Asuna are damage dealers. I myself am kind of like a hybrid tank. It's interesting. It's got a lot of stuff. Coach Coco is asking me about the multiplayer in the game, and it's like, yes, I played multiplayer. I would not say multiplayer is the highlight, but it allows you to roam the world with friends and take on bosses. Basically, the multiplayer is just gameplay. There's no actual story to it. Multiplayer is you go into the maps that you've unlocked in single player with your friends and try to take on those big ass bosses. And that's what I've done with friends. And as a matter of fact, my character is currently ridiculously overleveled for the content that I'm playing, simply because we were playing a lot in multiplayer and we were enjoying it quite a bit. As a matter of fact, José Borreiros in chat is one of the friends that was playing with me in multiplayer for Sword Art Online. He's currently using a katana. But yeah, Sword Art Online, number 10, Sword Art Online Hall Realization. Just remember, in my opinion, go with the PS4 version if you have a choice over the Vita version. Again, personal opinion. You can take it or leave it. Now, oh look, I found a way to hide it so you guys can't see it anymore. Aha! Coming in at number 9. And I think this is going to be a surprise for a lot of you. But it just goes to show how many really good games came out this year. Let me see. Which one am I going to pick for this? Let's go with this. I think this was the last one, the last live stream that I did of Monster Hunter. Yeah, let's... There we go. We're facing off against a Lagombi here. Okay, Monster Hunter Generations comes in at number 9. And you guys might be wondering, number 9? Only? I thought you were a Monster Hunter fan, and I am. I am a huge Monster Hunter fan, but at the same time, I feel that this was not the best entry in the Monster Hunter series. Like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of really cool stuff about Generations. I'm still playing it. I'm still very interested in finishing it. I just haven't had the time, but there are what I consider to be some deep-seated issues here. Because here's the thing. In one side, you have amazing... Forgot to full screen this. Sorry, slacking. In one side, you have amazing new mechanics in the form of arts, which you guys might think, oh, he doesn't like the arts. No, that's not it. I love the arts. I think it's amazing to further diversify the gameplay so that it doesn't just feel like you're picking one weapon, sticking with that weapon, and doing nothing else. The arts really bring some much needed diversity to this game so that you can do different styles with the same weapon, so that you can essentially play the same weapon in 4 different ways. And with Double Cross coming down the line, you're going to be able to do it in 6 different ways. And it feels great. Now, the cats, on the other hand, I don't like the new mechanics for the cats. I much preferred the old mechanics on the cats. Although I do like Prowler mode quite a bit. But I prefer the way the Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate did cats. Just a personal thing. Because, like, cats, I feel, are needlessly complex right now. And cats have never been something that I've wanted to get that deep into when I'm playing Monster Hunter. I know I want to focus on my character. And in Generations, I found myself playing with cats more often than my hunter. And that's another reason why this game is so low on the list, is because the reason why I've played the cats so much is the cats are essentially one of the easiest and fastest ways to get through the most boring quests that you have in this Monster Hunter. And let me tell you, there are so many boring quests in Monster Hunter Generations. It's insane. It is legitimately insane. Like, I got bored. A lot of times I'd be playing the game and I was just like, I just want to play something else. Because you know that I'm a completionist and I want to do as many quests as I possibly can. And that was never a problem in 4 Ultimate. For Ultimate, I could do all the quests and, you know, it would have a nice balance of here's a hunting quest, here's a gathering quest. Here's 2 hunting quests, here's a gathering quest. You know, it would have a nice balance. Whereas this one's like, here's a gathering quest. Here's an even more boring gathering quest. Here's a gathering quest that's going to be fucking ridiculously hard for you to figure out what the fuck you're supposed to get. So hard that you're going to be like downloading apps on your phone to figure out where the thing was that you wanted to go pick up, just so that you can pick up that fucking thing and leave. Like, there's way too many gathering quests. Like, I'm sorry, Capcom, you fucked up. You really fucked up. And I know that it's the reason that I get upset about it is because I'm a completionist. So I like, I see the quest there and I'm like, I want to do this quest. And then I end up doing a lot of stuff in the game that is just not fun. And that might even be my fault. But that's the way that my opinion is shifted. Like I said, in terms of gameplay, it is better than Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. Straight up. It is straight up better because the arts, the diversity, the new movesets, everything is better than 4 Ultimate. Just straight up. It feels great, plays awesome. There's no problems there. But then in terms of the quest variety, like I'm sorry. There's just some deep-seated issues here where it's just like too many fetch quests. Too many fucking fetch quests. Needs less fest quests. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, kind of lost my train of thought because I started looking at chat. This is really hard to do live. I got to tell you guys right now, trying to express my opinion on these things. I would still recommend Monster Hunter Generations. Obviously, I think it's an amazing title. If you had to pick between 4 Ultimate is better for newcomers. Generations is actually harder, which I can appreciate as someone who knows how to play Monster Hunter. I actually like the fact that Generations was harder overall. I just didn't like the fact that a lot of the quests were boring as fuck. But other than that, crafting still super solid. A lot of the mechanics super solid. I kind of like the Munster Hunters more than the current hunters that you kind of like throw the cats with the cannon thing. I like Munster Hunters more, and I engaged more with that. I thought that was a lot more fun than the new one. Diversity in armors and all that stuff, new weapons, new things, looking great in my opinion as far as I can tell. The game is just, like I said, it is a super solid title. I enjoy it immensely, but it's just that there's a huge barrier of entry here if you are not like super hardcore into Monster Hunter. Like some of the quests, there's just it's too much. It's too much. Anyway, that is number 9. Number 8. Number 8 is a game that I played not so long ago in the channel, right here. Coming in at number 8. It comes in at number 8 mostly for personal preference because I think this game is hands down one of the best games that came out this year. And again, it is personal preference only because there's so many good games that came out this year. But this game is fucking amazing. Amazing. This is one of the best games I've played this year, no doubt. And I've only played like 2 hours of it at this point. And I already know it is that good. And I'm just talking about the single player campaign. I don't want to get into multiplayer because I played the beta of the multiplayer. I didn't care for it. So I don't even want to discuss that bit. But like the single player campaign is just so solid. It feels so tight. Gameplay just super awesome. The glory kills, the weapons, everything about this game feels amazing. Doom takes number 8. And you guys, I've played it this week even because I hadn't played it yet this year and I felt like I had to because I heard so many good things. And it is most like, if you are even remotely interested in the gameplay that you are watching right now, you wholeheartedly recommend. Wholeheartedly. And it's like dirt cheap right now during Christmas season. Like I picked this up in Black Friday for 30 euros, which is a fucking steal for this game right now, in my opinion. So I would highly advise anyone that is even remotely, vaguely interested to check it out. It is super awesome. And again, if you enjoy shooters, it's great. It is hands down one of the best shooters I've played this year. Like people are talking about Titanfall 2, Battlefield 1, and what's the other one? Call of Duty? Like, no, fuck all that shit. Just get Doom. Just fuck all that shit. Get Doom. Done. So like Doom is one of the best shooters this year. So good. But yeah, Doom coming in at number 8. Now let's take a look at number 7. Kind of gave it away there a little bit. Kind of gave it away. Number 7 is a game that I've played through to completion. And I've played, this was the first time that I was playing Gears of War. And I enjoyed it immensely. This is a horde mode that I did with Globku. And this game is real good. And it plays fine both on PC and on console. I think it's locked at 30 on the Xbox One. But on the PC, the performance was spot on. You guys can see the way that this is running. I think this is with maxed out graphics on my crappy ass 970. So it looks great. It plays great. I enjoyed the story a whole lot. It's got 2-player co-op for the full campaign, and it's got horde mode co-op for up to 5 people? I don't remember how many people can do the co-op. The weapon diversity together with the animations, the visuals, everything about it. I had a blast. I just had a blast playing this game, and I would highly recommend it. If you're a Gears fan, this game is awesome. Game's amazing. The horde mode, they also introduced some new stuff that they didn't have in previous Gears, I believe, which is the ability for you to have like turrets and stuff and static defenses. And it just, again, super solid title all around. Enjoyed it quite a bit. And that's why it gets that number 7. Number 7 with the Khan seal of approval. All these titles have the Khan seal of approval, straight up. This is some of the best stuff that we've had in 2016, my opinion. Alrighty. Number 6. Oh, look at that. 2 Xbox games made it into my list this year. And just by saying that, you guys can probably know which one I'm talking about next. This right here is hands down the best driving game of 2016. And I will beat anyone that tells me otherwise. Anyone that tries to say otherwise is just wrong. What is this? Is this where I was trying to drift? Bitch, you know I can't drift. What the hell are you trying to do there? There's a wide variety of cars that you can unlock. There's the whole barn mechanics that I really enjoyed, where there's these abandoned cars and barns and stuff. The game play is super awesome. I believe that mostly was this in PC? No, I played most of it on the Xbox One because there were some issues with the PC version regarding frame rates and whatnot. I'm not sure if they ever got around to fixing that, but the console version ran like a dream. As a matter of fact, Globku was playing on the PC when we did the Squadron live stream, and shortly after he switched to the Xbox One version because it was actually running better than the PC version. I've heard that there were some issues right there, but yeah. Forza Horizon 3 is a super solid title, and if you're into car games at all, you owe it to yourself to check out Forza Horizon 3 because it is, like I said, hands down the best driving game that we've had this year. And it's interesting because I've never really played a Forza game, and I know that Forza Motorsport and Forza Horizon are 2 very different franchises, but I never played an Horizon game either. And Microsoft set me up with an interview, not an interview, like a session to speak with the devs about Forza Horizon 3. And when I saw it for the first time, I was like, wow, this thing looks great. And then they go like, oh yeah, and the campaign is 4-player co-op. And I was like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? 4-player co-op campaign on a goddamn car game? What is wrong with you? It's perfect. It's like the best thing ever. It was amazing. So playing this game, I've played a couple of times with Globku. Had a blast every time I played it. And again, not only that, it's like this game is cross-buy, cross-play, and 4-player co-op campaign. Like, what? You know, it's impressive. It's fucking amazing. You know, this is the stuff that a lot of games need to be aspiring to. That's why it makes it so high on the list. Like, I want more games with cross-play. I want more games with cross-buy. That is things that developers really need to look at. And Forza Horizon is the perfect example of this. It's just, I don't know, there's so many good practices in this game that the fact that it has performance issues on the PC I almost don't want to even mention it because it's just there's so many good things about it. You know, this is hands down one of the best games this year and the best driving game this year. The best driving experience you can have in 2016 is this. Forza Horizon 3, highly recommended, beautiful visuals, beautifully animated, awesome gameplay, cross-buy, cross-play, cross-fucking everything. It is awesome. Fucking cross-platform, dude. You're kidding me. Amazing. Okay, but that is Forza Horizon 3. Really enjoyed it. Super awesome. Now, this next game is, again, one of those games that people are going to... they're going to not agree with me on this. That's fine. It's all good. It's all good. Which one is the last one? I think it was this one. This one's the last one that I did. And coming in at number 5 is Attack on Titan. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, but it's so repetitive. It's so this, it's so the other. It's this thing, that, and whatever the hell. And all I can really tell you is that the mechanics of this game is what really did it for me. Even though sometimes they kind of fall flat, because like in situations, particularly like the one that we're in right here, where you're trying to fight titans in the middle of buildings, it is awkward as hell. But at the same time, it's like everybody's always talking about how Koei Tecmo is doing only Dynasty Warriors stuff, and everything they do is a Dynasty Warriors spin-off, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And everybody thought that this was going to be kind of like a Dynasty Warriors. And in some ways it is, because you're taking down Titans by the fucking thousands on these goddamn missions. But it's like the mechanics of how you take down the Titans I found particularly good. The mechanics of navigating the map feel super solid. People were probably wondering, how the fuck are they going to do this thing with the hooks and whatnot? And how is it going to feel right? It's probably going to feel like crap. And no, it feels great. And that's the thing. It's just the whole feel and how solid the gameplay is. Like, when the gameplay is working at its best, it is super cool. It is really good. And you're going to have a ton of fun with it. It is particularly good if you're playing with friends on multiplayer, because it's got kind of like... I don't want to say a Monster Hunter aspect to it, but I mean, essentially it's got that kind of crafting, because you want to like chop off their limbs for additional materials, and then you're going to craft new blades and do all these other things. But it's a really solid action game, and it feels great, in my personal opinion. Mr. Tony LP is asking if I've played the original Nier. I own it because Gru the Wanderer gave it to me as a gift. But I haven't gotten around to playing it. I'm actually waiting for this HDMI switch / splitter. It's a matrix, and it's an HDMI matrix that I'm hoping will break the PlayStation's 3 HDCP, so that I can stream a little bit of the original Nier before Automata comes out. But anyway, as I was saying, Attack on Titan, super solid. If you're a fan of the franchise, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I think the gameplay is really good, and it is very original. It is one of the most original gameplays that we've had in 2016. Because, you know, people are constantly talking about originality in video games, right? And they're talking about how, oh, this game does this game does that. And Attack on Titan comes with this mechanic that I haven't seen on any other game before. You know, this mechanic of like, you're just swooping in through the air and trying to like hook up to a Titan and slashing him up. It's completely new technology. I mean, not new technology. What I'm saying is completely new gameplay mechanics. And that's why it ranks so high on the list. That and because it's fun as hell. This is a game that I've actually finished. I finished the game. It's a lot of fun. But even after you finish, there's still like end game stuff for you to do. Like, I believe that there's even like a new difficulty mode. Was it True Attack on Titan? I don't know. There's new difficulty modes. There's more missions for you to do once you're done. There's a ton of stuff that happens after you are done with the game. So it's good stuff. Anyway, that is my number 5, Attack on Titan. Now, coming in at number 4. At number 4. Uncharted 4, baby, which we've played the entirety of it in the channel. And I've had a blast playing this game. This game is really good. So the cool thing about this one is mostly the story. Obviously, story in Uncharted games is, in my personal opinion, is usually amazing. The story on this one is particularly interesting because it takes a more serious approach because, like, you know, Nathan Drake is your modern day Indiana Jones. So he's always like happy-go-lucky, optimistic, squashbuckler. I like saying squashbuckler for some reason. Squashbuckler. But it's like he's the squashbuckling type. He's always trying to make the best out of every situation, always trying to keep it optimistic, keep it light, joking around and all that stuff. And in this one, you see a more serious side of him, which is, I think, one of the biggest innovations in the game, is that they make a more serious approach to the story. There's a bit of drama because of the way how he lies to his wife and whatnot. And there's basically a lot of really good story bits in Uncharted 4, and I think that is the highlight. There's obviously a lot of set pieces. The gameplay has been dramatically improved from other Uncharted games. You got the grappling hook. You got several situations where they allow you to tackle things differently, whereas in other Uncharted games, you'd be like, okay, here's a shooting section. Now a bit of story. Now another shooting section. Whereas in this one, there's like, hey, you can do a little bit of stealth if you want to, you know? Or you can take everybody out with usual Nathan Drake shooting 1,000 people. It's completely up to you. And I liked the diversity that they put in that gameplay. So that is why this makes it up to number 4. There's diversity, there's story bits, has probably some of the best visuals that we will see this year. And the visuals that you're watching is even before the PS4 Pro stuff comes into play. Because I believe this has like a 4K mode. It has HDR. All that good stuff. So, yeah. Super solid title. Highly, highly recommended. That's why it makes number 4 on the list. Altar of the Abyss. Did I just see an Assassin's Creed aerial takedown? Yes, it's the Nathan Drake aerial. The Nathan Drake version of the Assassin's Creed aerial takedown. Okay, that was number 4. Now we're going to get into the top 3. And I see that Globku's in chat. He's not going to like this next one. He's not going to like it one bit. Coming in at number 3. It's Torbjorn. Torbjorn's number 3. No, it's going to be Overwatch. I was actually surprised that I ranked Overwatch this high on my list, but I realized that I've played so much of it and enjoyed so many different aspects of it that it just had to be as high as it was. I'm still surprised that it took Game of the Year over at the Video Game Awards, because I kind of feel that, you know, your Game of the Year should be a bit more balanced, should have some single player content at least, which was one of my only complaints about Overwatch, is that it doesn't have anything in single player whatsoever, or at least some co-op stuff. You know, I'd like to have some co-op stuff that I could play with friends. I think that would be fun. And I'm hoping Blizzard might add something like that in 2017, but I don't know, because they are focusing so hard on PvP for Overwatch, which is, it is one of the best PvP experiences, hands down, that you can get. Like, if, as I said earlier, if Paragon is, in my opinion, the best MOBA right now in the market, this is the best PvP shooter in the market, hands down. Like, in my opinion, I haven't seen a single shooter that is better when it comes to PvP than Overwatch, because it is so well balanced. There's so many mechanics to it. There's so much stuff, and it doesn't just rely on you being good at aiming, which is something that shooters have done for so many years. Shooters have been about who is the best person at aiming, and there's not that there's not that much tactics to it, so to speak. You know, it's like, does this person aim better than the other one? Does he have the gun that shoots this way or that way? Can he aim really good with his gun? How many kills can he make? That's usually what shooters boil down to. And Overwatch takes a step in a completely different direction. A lot of people say that Overwatch is just Team Fortress 2, and I'm just like, I'm sorry. No, I don't like Team Fortress 2, and I love Overwatch. So what you're saying doesn't make any fucking sense. And people are going to say, oh, it's the Blizzard factor. And it's like, well, if it was the Blizzard factor, I'd be playing friggin' World of Warcraft, and Legion would be in here. And I would be talking about Heroes of the Storm instead of Paragon. It's not the Blizzard factor. There is something to Overwatch that is objectively way better than Team Fortress. There just is. I'm sorry. But anyway, Overwatch definitely number 3, straight up one of the best games I've played this year, and some of the best fun that I've had this year with my friends over at Squadron. This is definitely one of those that I want to keep playing. I've been thinking about playing it more and more on the PS4 because I own the PS4 version as well, since we were covering it on every platform in Squadron when we started out. But then people just kind of veer towards the PC version. But I want to play more and more on the PS4. I just need some of my friends that I play games with on consoles to get the game, and then I'll be playing it more on PS4. But super solid game, and I just really enjoyed it, basically. Okay, that was number 3, Overwatch. Now we're gonna come into number 2. Number 2. This might surprise some people. I was actually surprised by how many people I know actually thought that this was going to be my game of the year. I'm actually having trouble finding out which playthrough am I going to get. Let's get the first playthrough because it's got the big ass axe. Let's get part 10. Let's hope there's something good in there. Number 2, Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 is an amazing title. I enjoyed it immensely, but I got burned out of it faster than I expected, which is surprising to me because it is not like Dark Souls 2, whereas Dark Souls 2 had a lot of issues, and I kind of felt like it took me longer to burn out on Dark Souls 2. But I kind of feel that what happened to me with Dark Souls 3 is simply the fact that I've been playing Souls for so long that I'm just a little bit tired of the whole mechanics of it. Like, this is probably mechanically, this might just be the best Dark Souls that's been made. But as a game, as a whole, Dark Souls 1 is still better. Dark Souls 1 is still way better than any other Soulsborne game, in my opinion. And a lot of people asked me, and I made a whole video about it, like, which one is my favorite Dark Souls game, and I talked about it. And I'm going to talk about it again real fast here. My favorite Dark Souls game is Dark Souls 1, and it is followed closely by Bloodborne. And Dark Souls 3 takes number 3 on my Souls games lists, so to speak. And then it is Demon Souls, and then obviously at the end, Dark Souls 2. So that's the way that I personally rank my preference in Souls titles. And the reason, there's a lot of reasons why this is not Game of the Year for me. But I think it is definitely an amazing fucking game, which is why it takes number 2. It is definitely one of the best games that came out this year. But ultimately, it is, I've heard a lot of people refer to this as, it's like a best hits, a greatest hits of Dark Souls. It is what it is, which is why I just didn't, I don't know, I didn't feel like this game really amazed me enough to be the best game of the year. And I know that when I tell you guys which game I made number 1, there's going to be an uproar. There's going to be stabbings in the streets. But yeah, it's like, I'm going to keep playing Dark Souls 3, hands down. I still haven't platinumed it. I still have to do New Game Plus stuff, and I want to platinum it. I'm currently working on just finishing the DLC with what I would consider to be my main character on the PS4 right now. But yeah, Dark Souls 3 is awesome. And I would highly recommend Dark Souls 3 to anyone, even if you're new to the franchise, it's fine. You don't have to play the other Dark Souls before it. You can start on Dark Souls 3, and you can actually, that's one of the good things about the Souls series that I think a lot of people don't understand, is that you can play the Souls series in any order that you want. Any order that you want. It doesn't really matter. And you will understand. I mean, you might not understand because the story, you'll have to do some research on it, but you'll understand it when you play it. And this is definitely one of the best entries of Souls, and it takes the number 2 spot on my list. An amazing fucking game. I enjoyed it thoroughly. PC version is pretty polished, so it plays just fine. I had some issues with, but it was actually issues with my personal drivers. So the performance is fine on PC. On consoles, it's locked at 30, which is a little bit disappointing, but it's just like, it's personal preference. To be honest, I would just play it wherever your friends are playing it. That's what I would do, because it's a cool game to play with friends as well. Again, personal opinion. Some people are not going to agree with that. Oh, and I just saw Snake Java say, if they made Faith build good, then Dark Souls 3 could have been number 1. I don't know. I don't think that would have pushed it. But yeah, Faith sucking was a serious problem for me. No, it's whatever. It's one build in the middle of all those other builds. I know that I was frustrated about it, but it's mostly just like, there's a lot of things that Dark Souls 1 did right because they weren't trying to make it as mainstream, whereas I kind of feel like Dark Souls 3 has a lot of elements that make it more mainstream. Like, the game even feels more linear than Dark Souls 1. You know, it's just like you go from here to here, and there's like a logical progression through the game. Whereas Dark Souls 1 is like, you can progress in any fucking direction you want. And that was what's so good about it. But yeah, that is, that's our number 2. And now, for number 1, like I said, there's going to be shankings in the streets. People are going to want to kill me. You're going to hate me. And I want to hide it. I want to hide it so that you guys can't see it. Hide it. Actually, I'm going to hide it. I'm hiding it. Not going to let you guys see it. Not going to let you guys see the number 1. Number 1. Number 1. Oops. And now I typed it wrong. Good job. Good job, Rurikhan. Good job. This is going to be surprising to a lot of people. But number 1 is Final Fantasy 15. Okay, we've gone this far. Now I'm leaving. Bye. Yeah, you guys. Final Fantasy 15, because I guess it was the game that surprised me the most. Because, you know, Final Fantasy has like a formula that they followed for years, and very few games deviate from that formula. One of the games that deviates from the formula is obviously Final Fantasy 11 and Final Fantasy 14, because they're MMOs. So obviously they have to kind of shift stuff around. But this is the first, I would say, main entry Final Fantasy game that has real-time combat, open world, and just, I can't quite put my finger on it. But the thing that excites me most about this game, and the reason why this game wins, is not necessarily because of the game that it is right now. It is because of the potential that this game has, which is weird. But hey, it's my list, it's my rules. But the thing about it is, the gameplay feels great, even though it is somewhat basic right now still, which is the combat feels a little bit basic, but at the same time, it is beautifully animated. It is beautifully crafted. The whole game has a wide variety of things for you to do, which some of them can get repetitive. But at the same time, it's just a really good game, in my personal opinion. I enjoyed the story. I've heard a lot of people criticize the story. There's a lot of the story that I actually had to look up afterwards to understand, because there's still story bits that they're going to introduce later down the line in the game, and there's a lot of things in this game that are problematic. I'm not under any circumstance saying that this is a perfect game. Hands down, it is not. As a matter of fact, there are other games in this list that are clearly way more polished, like Uncharted 4, like Forza Horizon, Gears of War. There are a lot of Dark Souls 3. There are a lot of games that are more polished and potentially even more complete than Final Fantasy 15. But Final Fantasy 15 is a game that completely shifted. Like if you look, let's say the most recent traditional entry in the Final Fantasy series would be Final Fantasy 13, right? Which if you look at Final Fantasy 13 and then you look at Final Fantasy 15, you'll notice that this is a game that has completely shifted from anything that they have done previously in the franchise. And in doing so, it created something that is both impressive and solid. And again, you have to realize that these are developers who are stepping so far away from their comfort zone that if they were to just put a different name on this game that did not include Final Fantasy, you probably wouldn't even realize it. Well, you would realize it with the summons and whatnot, but you probably would be like, yeah, I wouldn't even know there was a Final Fantasy game, because it's so different. There's so much innovation to what they've done in comparing with their previous styles. I'm not saying that Final Fantasy 15 is a super innovative game. I'm saying it is innovative when you compare it with what they've done previously in the franchise. Whereas you look at, for instance, Dark Souls 3, it doesn't really break the mold that much from what has been done in Dark Souls 1 to... it definitely is very different from Bloodborne, but it doesn't really break the mold from what the studio has done before, whereas Final Fantasy 15 is just something completely new in the Final Fantasy universe. And it surprised me a great deal, and I've enjoyed it a great deal. And there's a lot of the stuff in the story that needs polish that they're working on, specifically that chapter 13 fucking sucks. But at the same time, there's so much more to the game than even the story itself that it just feels great. And I have no problems whatsoever recommending this game and saying that, in my opinion, it is the best game that came out this year. As Magical Noob said, he's in chat. And by the way, you guys should totally subscribe to Magical Noob. He's in chat right now. He's going to have a discussion on the best games on Tuesday as well. But you guys should subscribe to him. But as he said, Final Fantasy 15 is a flawed game, but it does a lot of things right. Hey, you guys remember this? This was when I was lost in this dungeon for hours on end. But anyway, you guys, that is my list of top 15 games with the honorable mentions and all that other stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this live Khan Kast. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. Remember to subscribe if you're new so that you're always notified when I go live. And yeah, thank you guys very much for hanging out. I wish everyone here a Merry Christmas, and everyone watching the VOD afterwards, Merry Christmas to you. Happy New Year, all that good stuff. Happy holidays. Spend some time with your family, you guys. Eat some good food. Don't eat too much. You're going to get fat. You're going to die. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.